So the Telangana High Court's interim order has effectively put a stop, or rather an interim stop, to the process of local body elections for which notifications had been given by the State Election Commission today. It effectively also puts a stay on the GO9 that was issued by the state government, because the bill that was passed by the state legislature was pending still with the governor. Two things that I must point out here. One, there are legal implications and political implications to what has happened. The political implications are huge because the Congress government had wanted to showcase Telangana as that state that is going to fulfill the promise that has been made by Congress party at the national level and by Rahul Gandhi, saying that they would enhance reservation for backward classes, and that the route that is being taken by the Telangana government, by Revanth Reddy, in terms of getting the survey done, in terms of getting a backward classes commission constituted, and subsequently moving very fast to enhance the BC reservation in the local body elections to 42%. That is something that has now taken a huge setback, because there is also the caste survey that is underway in Karnataka, and question marks will now be raised about the integrity of the data that's being collected there, and the institutional integrity of the data as well is going to come in for questioning. It could even come for judicial scrutiny. What happened in court was that the court said that one, the interim stay on the election process. Two, it also said that 4 weeks time to the Telangana government to come back with its rejoinder or its counter, and 2 more weeks to all the petitioners in this particular case to come back with their counter to that as well. So what it means is that for 6 weeks, literally, there will be no movement on the elections or the conduct of local body elections, and that also raises certain concerns about how funds is going to be transferred when the conduct of the local body elections has not happened. The second important aspect is the legal implications itself. One, in court, when the arguments were happening as well, time and again, Indra Sani judgment is being spoken about. That means that 50% ceiling on reservations, and in Telangana, with 15% for scheduled caste, 10% for scheduled tribes, and 25% was the earlier figure for the backward classes, and now that figure being enhanced to 42% takes the total reservation to 67%, which far exceeds, and therefore that is a question that's been raised. The second is a triple test that has been mandated by the Supreme Court for any enhancement of backward classes backward classes reservation, and in this case as well, three things: that there should be a dedicated BC commission that is formed, there should be empirical data, and also that the representation should be according to the quota enhancement, should be according to the representation, the backwardness, it should be in proportion to it. So all those questions were raised in court as well, saying that the empirical data is not available, that it's not been published, and that it's not been subjected to scrutiny by the larger different segments of society who are expected to give their opinion on it as well, and that has not happened in this particular case. The second is about, for instance, for the SC/ST reservations that use the 2011 data, and for the backward classes reservation, they have used data that came from what has been called as the socio-economic educational kind of a survey that was conducted by the Telangana government, and therefore 2024 data is being used, and therefore the differential basis for this, that has been questioned itself as a technical point. The third part of it is the legal implications, that when a bill that has been passed by the state legislature is still pending with the governor, can the government issue a GO that will effectively do exactly what that bill was meant to do, in that sense, bring in the amendments and so on. And the BJP is also pointing out that they do not agree with that process that has been taken up by the Telangana government. In fact, Ramchandra Rao has questioned this. He himself is a lawyer and he's questioned this. There is also BJP MP Arvind Kumar, who is saying that we never promised that kind of a reservation to the backward classes, and asking or seeking this assent of the governor, president, etc., is part of the procedure that's been prescribed in the constitution, and that's not something that the BJP government has brought about. The political implications: now the local body election process literally comes to a halt, and therefore that is something that the state government would certainly be worried about, because that is something that they had hoped will be able to give them brownie point in terms of being able to implement so quickly something as important as backward classes reservation. They are also looking at possible protests that will break out in the state. Leaders like Mr. R. Krishnaya have threatened that they will organize statewide kind of protests, something that so the food that was supposed to come till the mouth was stopped, and therefore the anger is that much more, is what they are talking about. The third part of it is that the entire BC outrage that has been promised by the Congress, in a sense, seems to have been derailed with this kind of an order from the court itself. And there will be now increased scrutiny on the survey data as well, because the High Court is rigorously questioning now the BC Commission's methodology and the non-publication of the report, the uniform application of the quota across the state without the distinctions of backwardness in different regions or different districts or different areas. That is something that the government must now very robustly defend, both the scientific as well as the institutional integrity of its data, in order to be able to justify the enhanced reservation. So, how the Revanth Reddy government is going to handle this, of course, they the optics of it, they went to Delhi, the ministers went to Delhi, spoke with legal counsel when the issue was to come up in the Supreme Court. Subsequently, the Telangana High Court as well, they were publicly seen having that kind of a discussion with the lawyers who are going to argue for them in court. So all of that was meant to send across the impression that the Telangana government is very serious about going ahead with enhanced reservation for the backward classes. But the BRS, for instance, or the BJP are questioning the intent of the government and saying that they were not honest and that they should not take this route, which they know will not stand legal scrutiny. Thanks so much for watching. We will continue to give you updates on how these developments are going to shape out the political narrative in the country.